What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the Adam Westberg Vibes. And make sure you all guys subscribe. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. Yeah. You guys already know, love wins in 2022. What goes around comes around. You spread love, you get love. Don't spread COVID, because we don't want any more goddamn COVID. You guys already know, Mountain Dew, please sponsor us. It's not going to happen today. But hopefully, someday. Now, without further ado, let's get into this. This is 2 true Walmart horror stories, animated, 16 minutes and 6 seconds, by none other than SSG, which is no, I don't even know what the SSG stands for. SSG Animations. Without further ado, let's hop into this. Cool intro. Props. Yeah, please subscribe to that channel
and mine. The world of horror content creators is not easy. People ask and ask for new videos without knowing how long it takes us to make them. I'm James. I'm 19. But until I was 17, I was a well-known urban explorer. In my early days, I was a paranormal investigator, but I never found anything, and my audience was getting bored. I went viral in a video that surpassed 1 million views, but my subscribers started to drop over time. After a few months of unremarkable content, I stopped making horror videos and dedicated myself only to explorations. My channel started growing again. Eventually, I made a new series of videos that consisted of me having the challenge of staying all night in different places. In the first videos, I stayed in the post office building, in a shopping mall, in a huge gym. Video, I had to target the most complicated place I had done so far. Walmart. I had everything planned. I was going to hide behind some cushions at closing time. I had a backpack with water and food. I didn't plan to steal. Since there were cameras and they could expose me if they caught me, in the worst case scenario, I preferred to keep it all as a teenage prank. Come nightfall, everything went as expected. The guards seemed to look around the place without much interest, more focused on going home than finding someone hiding. I decided to let the time pass by sleeping, setting my cell phone alarm to ring a few hours later. In the early morning, I was awakened by the sound of my cell phone, and I pulled back the pillows. I looked around and confirmed that my plan had been a success. I was alone. I started to investigate the Walmart. I entertained myself in the games section and even watched the TVs for a while, documenting everything that was going on. At first, I thought this was going to be a complicated video to make, but it turned out to be the easiest one I had made so far. I was having a lot of fun exploring the place, but it all ended when I peeked into the food section and realized one thing. I wasn't alone. At first, I thought a guard had stayed longer without me knowing, but that person was dressed differently. The man was in a black t-shirt and short shorts, standing casually looking at the dairy prices. Upon noticing me, the man turned around, looking me straight in the eye, and started calling me like a dog, crouching down and whistling at me. As he slowly walked towards my position, I lowered the camera and stopped filming out of fear. I didn't know why, but this person didn't look like someone else making a challenge, or perhaps a homeless man. This person was someone who wanted to catch me and hurt me. as the man came closer and closer. My body, paralyzed with terror, managed to move back a few centimeters. Many people often question me and say that if they were me, they would have ran in desperation. But you'll never know how you'll react in such a situation until you're in there. As I stood there, I felt like an animal terrified of its natural predator. Standing there at 17 years old, thinking about how to escape, the face of evil slowly approached me. A few seconds later, which felt like minutes, he was already very close to me. Despite my fear, my body remembered how to react, and I ran away as far as I could from that man. Somehow, in just a few meters, I had him next to me again. His face was even worse than before. At least he was looking at me with curiosity. But since I ran, his face was only of happiness and malice. I thought about reasoning with him, but before I could speak, the man hit me very hard with his right hand, knocking me to the ground. I tried to stop him, but he climbed on top of me and prevented me from getting up. Tears ran down my eyes in despair, and he punched me incessantly in the face, smiling. My tears were confused with blood spurting out of my face. I felt like I was going to faint at any moment. The man seemed aware of my situation, so he stopped hitting me, and without saying anything, pulled a knife out of his pants. He looked at me smiling and threatening to stab me in the chest, but stopped halfway and continued laughing, tormenting me. Before I could react, he grabbed my right hand and slowly plunged his knife into as he did not immediately stab my hand. The man slowly pierced the knife in and began to twist it hatefully. Meanwhile, his eyes were still fixed on me. This man did not care about the damage he was causing me, but he enjoyed seeing the expression of pain on my face. A few seconds later, I heard loud noises behind us. It was the police, who had somehow found us. The man pulled the knife out of my body and went running quickly to them to try to kill them. After several shots in the leg, he realized he wasn't going to win and had to give up. At first, they didn't trust me either, but after seeing that I was just a kid with bruises on my face and a huge hole in my hand, they had no choice but to believe me. When I was finally reassured that my life was no longer at risk, I closed my eyes and collapsed to the ground. The policeman rushed me to the hospital, but I had lost too much blood. Shortly after waking up and receiving the scold of my life from my angry but concerned parents, I learned that Walmart was not going to press charges for trespassing during the night. Even though no guards are monitoring the whole place, they have lots of cameras and people monitoring them at times, so they witnessed everything that had happened between me and this psycho. Speaking of him, neither the police nor my parents told me much. But a few days later, I saw the news, and I dropped the remote control out of fear. The man was a cannibal who enjoys savagely beating his food unconscious before devouring it. Today, I don't know what life will be like for this man or the rest of my acquaintances who had urban exploration. But after that day, I knew I had to give up this type of content. I won't have the same amount of viewers, but lately, I started telling stories of psychopathic killers. A lot of people think they're lies or that they're exaggerated, but they don't know how exaggerated reality can be and how a man almost devoured me in a Walmart. My name is Anderson. Now I'm 29. Today I'm going to tell you about a terrible story that happened to me when I worked at a huge Walmart. This incident happened to me about 4 years back in the huge Walmart shopping store. I had many co-workers who were very good and well-behaved. There were 2 girls and 3 boys. One of them, Sebastian, was my good friend. I got on very well with everyone. 4 years back in the Walmart store, Sebastian seemed very upset for a few days. When I used to talk to him about it, he was always afraid to tell me even a little what was wrong. After asking a lot, he told me one day, He said, "Man, I've made a huge mistake. I shouldn't have done that. There's no more happiness for me." Whoa, Sebastian, what are you saying? You okay? Work hard and make your life. Don't talk like that, man. That day I saw something in his hand, but he was hiding it, trying to conceal it. I couldn't see it, and he went without replying to me. The next day there was a huge uproar at the Walmart. When I asked my coworker, I found out that Sebastian had died in a truck accident. I couldn't believe it. Perhaps he deliberately dove in front of the truck? I suspected he could have been suicidal. Everything was going well in the Walmart store, but after a few days, some horror incidents started happening there. I couldn't believe it at first, but when an incident happened to me, I was shocked and afraid completely. So one day when I was busy in the billing process and scanning barcodes of products bought by a family, the family was standing in the queue for the billing. The age of the man was about 29 years old, and the age of the woman was about 25 also. When they were standing in the queue, I saw a kid of about 8 standing behind them. That family started going out of the shop with their belongings. I shouted from behind and called them. He said, "Hey, what are you talking about? No, we don't even have children. So how did the child come here? He must be someone else's son. Go check carefully." I also thought that maybe he was someone else's child, so I followed him. He went on and on, first floor, then second floor, and through the aisles of the Walmart. I followed him further, but the child was not stopping. Eventually, when he stopped, he turned his face towards me. I got goosebumps and got shocked. I saw that that child was no ordinary child, and suddenly his complexion and appearance had changed. The whole half of that child's head was crushed in. The hands and feet were completely crooked, and there was not a single flesh on the whole body. He was bloodied. I closed my eyes very loudly and started chanting the name of God, and after a while, the child disappeared. When the CCTV footage was checked, the child was nowhere to be seen. I thought it was probably my nightmare. What should I tell everyone? No one would believe me. Then, a few days later, I saw a lot of kids' spirits at that Walmart. There were about 3 or 4 children who were talking and walking towards me, trying to tell me something, but I couldn't understand. My situation got worse due to fear, and I didn't go back to work for a few days. Eventually, I went to see a priest. He gave me a locket. He said that if I wear this locket at all time, I won't see such things. A few days went fine, but after a few days, I went to the Walmart to collect my paycheck and was busy billing products. I saw a girl who was trying to say something, but the security guard was not letting her say anything. I went to check it out. She was acting a little weird. She said she's Sebastian's sister, Anita. I went up to her right away. "Hey, Anita, I'm Anderson, Sebastian's friend. What's the matter?"
Listen, carefully. Look, we have very little time. The death of my brother, Sebastian, was not an accident, but he was killed by my little brother's ghost.
Whatever that was happening, it was happening after the death of his younger brother, Ray. Once, my mom had gone for some work on the ground floor. Perhaps her parcel had arrived, so she asked my brother Sebastian to take care of Ray. But Sebastian got busy with some work and could not attend to Ray. At that time, Ray was playing with his green-colored ball. While playing, his ball fell from the balcony. He went to the balcony, and he too fell from there. He was only 8 years old when he died. Then Sebastian too was shocked and terrified. He always kept that ball with him at home. But one day, he took that ball here at the Walmart and mixed it with the toy section. The next day, Ray's ghost killed him, which everyone called an accident.
After his death, his soul came in that ball, and whoever went to that ball, I'm pretty sure that ball is in this Walmart. We just have to find that ball. Please let me go to the toy section. I will find it.
Oh God. Okay, I'll check with you. We didn't find that ball. Then I remembered that I had sold a ball 2 days ago. We did a lot of searching. Then in the camera recordings, we came to know that Mrs. Kendra has the ball now. We found her address and went there, but they weren't home. We told them everything on the phone. They too had become shocked after hearing that. In the Walmart shop 1 day later, Mrs. Kendra came there with her son Astern and the ball. Anita said,
Where is your son? We have to save his life. Tell me!
He disappeared. Eventually, we found him on the second floor. He was under someone else's control and was going to hit himself in the head with a hammer. In the meantime, a worker of the Walmart came. He tried to snatch the hammer down from the child's hand. Then he pushed it back so hard backward that he fell down the stairs. Clearly, the bone in his neck had broken. He died on sight. We all were completely terrified. Astern, don't do it! He gave us all a creepy little smile. Astern said, He will go with me. Clearly not his voice. No, baby, why are you doing this? See, I'm your mama. Obey your mama, son. But he didn't listen at all, and hit his head so hard with the hammer that a lot of blood started coming out. The situation was not becoming under control at all. The more we refused him, the more the spirit used to torture that child. It was important for us. We had to save his life. After a while, Anita said,
I know, Ray. It's you. You can't do that. You were a good kid. You always listened to your mom and to your sister. Sebastian is dead. He has got his punishment. Please leave everyone now. Go to your own world. Please, leave this innocent child.
Okay, sister. After saying that, the kid calmed down a bit, and seeing the opportunity, Anita snatched the ball from his hand. The child was badly hurt, and it took him a long time to recover, but his life was saved by the grace of God, and we buried that ball near Reynard's grave. Nothing wrong ever happened to us, ever, after that incident. Sebastian was hiding something from me that day. I knew it, and it was nothing but that same ball in his hand, and maybe by mistake, he had left the ball in Walmart, and some other kid bought it.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, please smash that like button. Let's go for... If you guys did enjoy it, let's go for 15 or 16 likes on the video. Make sure you guys leave a comment, leave a like. Let's go for 15 or 16 likes on the video. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.